Family, friends, welcome. Welcome to Atsara. Welcome to Ibiza. And most importantly, welcome to the wedding celebration of Natalie and Morgan. I'm Natalie and Morgan's celebrant, but I'm not just their celebrant. Today I get to be your celebrant too. I'm here to guide us through something truly special, and I want you all on this journey with us right from the start. We're here to create a memory for Natalie and Morgan, and for every single person who has come to witness their union. This is not a ceremony, this is a celebration, and every single one of you here plays an essential part. In just a moment, our gorgeous bride will be making her entrance, but before that happens, I have a small favor that I want to ask of you all. I want for all of you to join together and bring every last bit of your warmth, your joy, your love into this space. I'm going to share with Natalie and Morgan everything that is inside of me, but I need you. Oh, how I need all of you, your good energy, your smiles, your magic. Have a look around you, at all the faces around you. These are the people who Natalie and Morgan most cherish. You're the people who have most shaped their story, cheered them on, and shared in their adventures and in their quiet moments alike. Today isn't just about witnessing a ceremony. It's about surrounding this couple with the power of your presence and the light of your affection. So when they stand here together before all of you, I want them to meet everything that is inside of you all, okay? What do we think? Can we do this for two beautiful people? Can we? One last thing before we begin. For the length of this ceremony, just for this ceremony, please, keep your phones, keep your cameras away, okay? Be right here. Be together. And we'll make this a memory that lives in our hearts instead of our screens, okay, Instagrammers? I see you. The journey begins. Family and friends, please stand for the entrance of our bride. And if you can please stay standing for the opening blessing.
Here comes the sun, little darling. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. It's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, I say, it's alright, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles return into the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes comes the sun, I say. Here comes the sun. Oh, here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright.
We're here, bound together by the island's love, the weight of the past lifted. Let us embrace the joy of this gathering, for today we honor not just your union, but the sacred act of being present, the miracle of now, alive and breathing. As you stand before each other, may your hearts open and speak the language of love, unfiltered and infinite. In this place, let us celebrate your journey ahead, knowing that every moment is precious and invites us all to witness the beauty of becoming. You know what? Each and every single one of you is here because you mean so much to this adorable couple, and you've all made this incredible journey from your homes in order to witness the two of them getting married. I think that is a testament of love and generosity from every single one of you towards Natalie and Joel and Morgan. And because you've all made this incredible journey, this effort, we're going to recognize it in this ceremony today. So now we're all finally here. I want you to take a look at these two beautiful people, and I want you to put your hands together in welcome celebration for Natalie and Morgan's Ibiza wedding. Come on, let's hear it. And Riley, come on, put your hands together for him. So before we sit, I think we should take a moment for a proper hello. So I want you to look at the person immediately next to you, your left, your right, in front of you, behind you, whoever they may be, whether they are someone you know or don't know too well or getting to know. I want you just to take a little moment to connect with them. Shake their hand, give them a little squeeze, give them a little kiss. Say hello to them in this moment, okay? We're going to come together and become a family today. This day goes by so quick. Riley, have a look at everyone. They're all here for you, my man. There you go. I want you to take in their faces as well, family and friends. This day just goes by so quick. Take in their deliciousness. Do they not look delicious? They do. We find ourselves in this place of wonder. This day is an extra special moment that we share with Natalie and Morgan. Ibiza's a place that has called out to them from afar, and this is a couple who listen. So we're gathering right here in this Garden of Eden. At Tsaro, this beautiful agro-turismo, we're nestled in the countryside of Ibiza. Colourful produce, wild gardens filled with Mediterranean herbs, ancient olive trees casting their shade. This place, I think, captures everything that makes this island special. Its natural beauty, its peaceful energy, and its timeless character. So it's not by chance that Natalie and Morgan chose this exact spot to welcome you all to this special day. Ibiza is their sanctuary. This island where Morgan proposed to Natalie is a place that they return to, each time becoming a little bit of a bigger part in their story. Their mutual connection with this island speaks to something deeper that they share, an understanding that life should be lived fully, embraced with warmth and energy. This place in the sun is ancient. It dates back to 800 BC when it was discovered by the Phoenicians, who named it Ibshim, the pine-covered island. And if you go everywhere over here, we're just surrounded by pine trees in the midst of nature. Over the years, Ibiza has been occupied by the Romans, Byzantines, Moors, Christians, Catalans. It has so many influences. And its mix of historical elements and earthly properties have long since made it a home for artists, thinkers, and spiritualists. And Ibiza has always been a center for open-mindedness, for diversity and acceptance. And I think this is fitting for these two beauties because Natalie and Morgan are open-minded people. They're sensitive to one another's differences. And this union today symbolizes their acceptance of these differences, this divergence, and the promise to move forward, working through those differences into a much, much higher place. I want to welcome someone special to the front of this ceremony. She's going to read a poem for us called Here's to Right Now. So I want you to give a round warm of applause for Morgan's aunt, Janet. Come on, Janet.
Here's to right now. You're surrounded by your loved ones and all are wishing you well as you create a brand new chapter in a story that's yours to tell. We talk about the memories you have yet to make together and the moments you've already shared to be carried with you forever. But take the time to live today as your marriage begins. Look around and soak it up, the moments you are in. For this is where the magic starts, when you both say your vows. You pledge to spend your lives as one because of the love you feel now. So here's to the future that is bright and warm and clear. But more than that, here's to right now and what it means to be here. Sorry.
She was so nervous reading that. She told me that she couldn't read it even at home without shedding a tear. But you did it, Jan. That was wonderful. I like Morgan and Natalie from the moment that I met them. I had a very strong feeling for them. We first met here in Ibiza at their hotel, and as soon as I entered the lobby and I turned the corner, I could see these two lovely faces just light up the room, and I had an immediate sense of them. They had these beautiful eyes, big, wonderful lenses that they saw the world through. And I remember this feeling of familiarity. It was like I could see what was inside of them. They were warm, friendly, joyous, and it felt like I had already known them for such a long time. Little did I realize that this sense of knowing would come to mean so much in getting to understand them and their relationship. Sometime later, we'd exchanged several emails. I'd asked more questions, taking a deeper dive into their relationship. And Morgan wrote something to me that was so simple, but it really, really stayed with me. He wrote, "We are each other's best friends before anything else." I loved that, and I found it such a powerful thing to read. And you know what? The more I delved into their relationship and I heard the things that so many of you, their family and friends, said about them, the more I realized this is exactly what this couple is all about. Natalie and Morgan are two strong people who I think could have walked their own paths in life and they would have been just fine. But it was written in the stars, I think, a long time ago that they should come together. And together, they become something so much more. What does it mean to know a couple that have known each other so long and speak to them about a group of people with a group of people who also know them so well? There's a particular comfort in knowing that they have been together with each other so long, a comfort that comes not just from the years together, but knowing that they've grown side by side. I think of those two 11-year-olds that saw each other for the first time on the school bus, both a little unsure, both heading somewhere new. Morgan had no time for girls. He only had eyes for football. But it didn't take long for Natalie to pipe up and claim Morgan as her future husband. No one else was getting this guy. Barely into the second decade of her life, but Natalie somehow knew this was her man, right? And at the time, over time, their paths naturally grew closer together until it seemed impossible to imagine one without the other. I wonder if to know them is to see the quiet, steady work of partnership. They've navigated all the twists and turns of young love, school dances, late 59-minute phone calls, first flats, new cities, shaping a bond that feels deeply familiar, yet always evolving. Natalie has energy, direction, and a gift for finding solutions in chaos, where Morgan is the calm at the center, patient and steady, making sure that laughter never gets lost, even on the hardest of days. Each of them, I think, balances and strengthens the other. And over time, that balance has become the foundation of their family. Years of shared experience have made them a team in the truest sense. Packing up, moving at a moment's notice, supporting each other's dreams, be it football or cake sprinkles or another little business, and embracing every new adventure, whether it's a cross-country move, a new job, or simply a quiet walk with Riley and Jerry. They know how to lean on one another, how to celebrate each other's victories, and how to face challenges hand in hand. Knowing Natalie and Morgan, I think, means witnessing the joy they find in the simplest things. A family trip, or maybe a quiet evening at home. It means seeing how they've become each other's best friends, how their history together is a source of understanding and comfort, and how that sense of knowing extends to everyone lucky enough to be part of their world. Their first furry child, Tommy, was their constant companion through every move and milestone. His memory lives on in the gentle chaos of their family life, in Jerry's antics, in Riley's laughter. A reminder, perhaps, that true family is made not just by time, but by the love that fills it. Today, as Natalie and Morgan stand here with all of you, those who've known them, supported them, and watched them grow, they invite you to celebrate not just their wedding, but a partnership based on understanding, on years of shared memories, and on the deep comfort of truly knowing and being known by another person. I think these two really do see one another. They don't just look, they see, and they constantly search for the good in each other. Natalie told me Morgan is kind, caring, and generous, the best dad in the world. And he's provided me with nothing but love, security, and support over our 16 years together. We met on the first day of secondary school, and I've been completely besotted ever since. Isn't that beautiful? And Morgan said, the way Natalie has supported me and continues to support me has been incredible. She organises and runs our lives. And watching her be the best mum to Riley is something really, really special. I simply can't imagine going through my life without Natalie by my side. Isn't that beautiful? You know what? When I heard these things, I found myself thinking, is there any bigger compliment that you can pay the person you adore than seeing such great characteristics in them? It's the highest honour. It's love at its finest point. Natalie and Morgan, I think, really do see each other, and that is a powerful vision that I find so enchanting. Natalie and Morgan, everyone, give it up for them. Come on, let's hear it. Well, actually, you can come and if you want to give Morgan's ring to Natalie, and if you want to give Natalie's ring to Morgan. Give him a little round of applause, everyone. He handled those rings very well. Good man. Natalie, Morgan, you've come to this sacred place to make known that you wish to take the next step on your journey through this life together. You're making this commitment in front of your family and friends who vow to support your union with their love and their care. Your relationship, your love, is your own. No other person, text, or wisdom can define what the two of you share. So let the words you're about to say flow through you. Let them be a beacon to guide you along the path. So first, let me ask you, Natalie, do you take Morgan to be your husband?
I do.
She does. And Morgan, do you take Natalie to be your wife?
I do.
Okay. I want you to hold each other's ring closely, okay? I want you to put your warmth, your light into them as you listen and recite these vows. And family and friends, I want you to do a little something for me to tune into these vows. I just want you to lean forward a little bit, scoot yourselves like an inch forward on the seat of your chairs. I just want you to lean in and really connect with these two when they recite their vows, okay? So Natalie, you first. After I recite the words of this vow, you look to Morgan and you state the words, I do, okay? Do you, Natalie, take Morgan to be your husband, your best friend with whom you've grown, to share life's journey in love and understanding, today, tomorrow, and always, to trust, honour, and be his steadfast teammate, to love him faithfully through all that comes, good times and challenges. And if doubt arises, to recall you are each other's constant, the support that you always find, and the promise you have made on this day.
I do.
Okay. And Morgan, now you, after I recite the words of this vow, you do the same. You look to your wonderful wife-to-be and state the words, I do, okay? Do you, Morgan, take Natalie to be your wife, your best friend, with whom you've grown, to share life's journey in love and understanding, today, tomorrow, and always, to trust, to honour, and be her steadfast teammate, to love her faithfully through all that comes, good times and challenges, and if doubt arises, to recall you are each other's constant, the support that you always find, and the promise you have made on this day?
I do.
Natalie, you first. If you want to take, if you want to take Morgan's ring and gently push it into its rightful place on his finger. And Morgan, now you, if you want to take Natalie's ring, push it into its rightful place on her finger. They did it. I think they deserve a round of applause for that. Come on, give it up for these two. You've no idea how hard Morgan had to work to get Natalie's ring on there. Okay, you can all scooch back on your seats now. You can relax a little bit more, right, if you can move forward. Okay, for the final words, I want you to look towards one another. I just want you to join your hands together and really, really connect with each other, okay? And now I want you to close your eyes. I just want you to feel this moment through your touch, okay? Don't open your eyes until I tell you. When you do, you will look upon one another for the first time in front of this group of family and friends as husband and wife. May your life together remain a path of discovery, where each new day brings opportunities to learn, to adapt, and to walk forward side by side. May you find comfort in the familiar presence beside you, in the quiet understanding that only years together can bring, and in the steady reassurance that you are truly seen and understood. When the road is smooth, may you celebrate with joy. And when it turns uncertain, may your shared trust carry you through. May the laughter you share light the way through ordinary days. And may the strength you've built together be the shelter in every storm. As your journey continues, may you always return to one another, to the warmth of belonging, the peace of companionship, and the gentle certainty that comes from truly knowing and being known. Now slowly open your eyes and look towards one another. Morgan, you know what to do, my man. You may now kiss your bride. Come on, let's hear it for these two, everyone. The time for polite listening is over. It's time to take the energy of this celebration and pour it into the rest of this day. So I want you to give of your love, your great spirit, your positive intentions. Clap, whoop, holler, whistle, and send these two up the aisle and into their future with an enormous boost of energy and life. They came into the ceremony as Natalie and Morgan, but they leave as the newlyweds. So let me introduce to you the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Fox. Come on, let's hear it.
There's so much butter with everything. Nice and clover in my chair, there's no compare. I adore you. Ooh, I adore you. I came first, but you're ahead beyond your years. People try to find this thing you've always been. I adore you. Ooh, I adore you.
Come on, give it up for them, everyone. We want it loud. Come on, Mr. and Mrs. Fox.
Your answer, you walk through life is loud.
Anyway, good afternoon and welcome to Natalie and Morgan's special day. I think I'm the third or fourth person today to invite you and welcome you. My name is David, as he said, and I have the privilege of being the father of the bride. Now, It is traditional on these occasions to comment on the bride, but quite frankly, she's looking fabulous. We did the reveal out the back just before she came out, and I was stunned. I mean, she's always looked lovely to me from that very first moment 31 odd years ago when she was a bit wrinklier and noisier and smellier, but she's always been lovely, honestly. Today, and indeed the whole time we've been here in Ibiza, it's been fabulous. It's been perfect. And today's event, I know we have many, many organizers here, but it's largely down to Natalie. She's been planning this for about 17 years, I think. And I may have been guilty in the past of accusing her of overthinking things. She's a bit of a list maker, and what she has done over the years has been meticulous and careful and plan and make lists. And it's why she succeeded in school and university and in her own enterprise, which she did for several years. And that same effort has meant she's just succeeded. She just seems to do things really very well. She's a bit of a dynamo. She has a voice that exceeds her size. She could enter international competitions for talking, obviously, we all know that. And she does somehow seem to take over whenever possible. I don't know where she gets it from, probably her mother. Some of you may know, we lived in Brazil for a few years. We lived in Rio de Janeiro, and Natalie and her brother Josh went to the local school, and they both became fluent in Portuguese. And my ever so clever wife also was fluent in Portuguese. As you can imagine, I could order a beer. But Natalie picked up the local accent. She could speak Cariocan, which in Brazilian terms is equivalent to being a drunken Glaswegian, which meant even though Wendy spoke fluent Portuguese, she used Natalie to translate for maintenance people and delivery people, and she was 4. She was also, many of you may know, a gifted, if occasionally reluctant sailor. She did represent Great Britain at junior class in several events. And she also won Crew of the Year from the prestigious Royal Corinthian Yacht Club. She got her award from the Olympian Shirley Robinson. She didn't allow me to put her award on Facebook as it was signed. Oh, what happened there? But the same year, on a family holiday, we went to Italy, beautiful place, and we decided for the afternoon to rent a yacht. And naturally, as being very gifted and knowing how to bluff in sailing and having watched them a few times at various events, I took the tiller. I think I lasted about a minute before 10-year-old Natalie pushed me aside, called me useless, and took over and sailed it for the rest of the afternoon. This may not come as a surprise to any of you. Natural manager she may be, but she balances that with empathy and care and consideration for other people. She is lovely. And this is one of those special occasions when we can say publicly how so very proud we are of her. She has been the perfect daughter. And also, on a personal note, I'd like to take the opportunity to once again publicly apologize for the 11 plus tutoring. I wasn't a very good one. Father of the Bride speeches have a certain style and requirement. And one of the first things we have to do is welcome our new son-in-law into the family. Well, frankly, Morgan has been a part of our family for so long, it's utterly redundant. Young Morgan made his first appearance at her 12th birthday party, or the first appearance to us. And he came along with his friend Alex, and frankly, we didn't know which one of these boys was the chosen one. It didn't matter. Where could this go? And his name turned up from time to time over the next couple of years, and then he started coming to Sunday lunch and dinner, and he just seemed to be around more and more. His friends will recognize that conversation was a little difficult. I mean, he's a well-brought-up lad. He was please and thank you. Sometimes we had a yes and a no, but actual conversation was just a tad difficult. But nonetheless, his presence was regular. And after a couple of years, we realized this is Natalie and Morgan. That's the way it was. There was, of course, the occasional black mark. He wasn't perfect. There was the notorious Sunday afternoon joint cooking effort when my garlic press, the famous garlic press, didn't survive his now heavy hand. You would probably think this a minor blot, but honestly, that garlic press came with me across 3 continents and took me over 10 years to replace. A small point. I mean, what can I say? There's very little to fault in him other than the occasional teenage bizarre haircut. He supports West Ham. What can you do? But teenage years progressed, and we became more aware of football. And it's been a huge pleasure to share his career over the years, from the under-18s and the academy at Charlton, through Sheffield Wednesday and Stoke, and now QPR. And we even saw him playing with a 17-year-old Jack Grealish at a wet and windy Saturday in Crawley, playing for Notts County. Absolutely. But throughout these years, he's been generous, charming, and self-effacing. He's been a delight. You will appreciate how much we love Natalie, and I can think of no nicer person to share the rest of her life. Now, I have been married for what seems like a very long time, and I feel, and in fact, I'm supposed to offer some advice. And if I can be serious for a moment, I think we should, and Morgan should always remember that marriage is a sacred and loving union between 2 equal partners, one of whom is always right, and the other one is him. The 2 of them have already shared many trials and many delights, including the little one here in the corner. And I'm sure that they have very many more years of happiness to come. So if I can ask you to charge your glasses, stand with me, and toast. Now you get to sit down. The very lovely couple. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. I've been waiting for this for a very, very long time. But to be honest, I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. It's an absolute pleasure to be doing it alongside Ollie. I knew he would be the shoo-in, but I've just crept into the starting lineup on this occasion. So Morgan, thank you very, very much. What an absolute perfect setting we have here today. An absolute far cry from Burning Sailing Club, where I attended one of Nat's birthdays back in the day. Can you remind me which that was? What do you reckon? Yeah. 18th. Oh, my goodness. Crouch. Burnham on Crouch. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, sorry, yeah. They call it the yacht club, but it's just got a couple of canoes. Obviously, after spending time with Morgan, getting our suits sorted and whatever, he paid me and Ollie a amazing compliment. He called us both the two most unreliable people he knows. I mean, for someone like Morgan, it's really not difficult when you are Mr. Reliable. Both on and off the pitch. Isn't that right, Natalie? Oh, God, I'm going to enjoy this. Seriously, how long have I got? Have I got a while? Right. The first time I set eyes on Morgan, well, it wasn't actually my eyes, it was my ears. It was on the small, if anyone knows, I'm sure a few people will, at Charlton Athletic, Sparrows Lane is a training ground. There's a small astro where the youngsters used to train. Morgan turned up and I could hear his voice before I could hear anything else. There might not have been many words, but when I heard it, I was like, bloody hell, what is that? It sounded like Darth Vader was coming out to train. But me and Morgan, I would say we hit it off straight away, but we were the only white lads in the team, so we automatically gravitated towards each other. Oh dear, this is killing me. And also at the time, I know I've had some bad haircuts, mate, but that was an absolute shocker. It was Justin Bieber when he first came on the scene. Cole, I hope it wasn't over 20 quid, let's put it that way. But yeah, no, we instantly became close and came through all the way together to the first team. And to be truthful, it took me about 2 years of knowing him to know that he actually had really good banter. Yeah, only 2 years, yeah, sorry, yeah. Great example of this was, pre-season trips away, and one particular 50 Cent PIMP video we created in our hotel room, in our dressing gowns and towels wrapped around our heads, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And yeah, if I could get it up now, you wouldn't see it because I'm embarrassed about it as well. But it was around sort of a year into meeting Morgan where I started to invite him and also Natalie to house parties at my parents', which they were quite famous lads, weren't they? Yeah. And yeah, Ledge, yeah, cheers. Which is where obviously the connection lies between Morgan and some of my friends here today. I'll talk about them in a minute. But surprisingly, at these parties, Nat was always the first person to tap out. And that was always before 10:30. You wouldn't believe that she had a big drinking past looking at her now. But I really think university snapped this out of her, unfortunately. Going on to my mates. Dickie, Coops, and Slates. Can you raise your hands, please, lads? There we have, guys, a Poundland Spencer Matthews, an ex-addict, and an Adobe Photoshop salesman. Unfortunately for Morgan, he wasn't too keen on meeting new people back in those days. So once he said he fully settled in, there was no looking back for him. So yeah, I apologise unreservedly for everyone here for some of the shit that this man in the pink blazer will come up with, including doing Moonies at a Tom Jones tribute act with Morgan's aunties and young cousins. I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Foxy, it's been an absolute pleasure being your mate, and I was absolutely over the moon when you asked me. Lucy was winding me up about it for absolute months, weren't you, darling? And to the point, it was actually really pissing me off. Because you know how the girls talk, and I thought, oh, something might have slipped the net. But yeah, that day when obviously you went to ask me and Natalie got the words out before you could, do your next inhale of breath. And yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. So thank you, mate. There's one thing I would like to touch on, actually, and that's Colin and Leslie. Fair play to you both. No disrespect, but looking at you, you wouldn't think you'd have a pop star and professional footballer on your books. So guys, I must say, it does raise some serious questions about what happens in the South Woodham area. And Ollie, a small note on you, mate. Your comeback story to regain #1 son after all these years is absolutely fucking remarkable, mate. Your switch to a tall, skinny dope to a musical genius is absolutely incredible. Whilst we're here, I'd just like to touch on the stag quickly for those who went. There's a couple of numbers I'd like to read out, and this isn't the bingo. 3095 37 2671 7468. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are the celebrant's bank details. Because he believed that he paid for the whole stag do. He was that fucked. So can everyone write that down and send him a couple of quid, please? Thank you very much. But Morgan, seriously, I'm really sorry I didn't make it. And yeah, I wouldn't have allowed that to happen. So sorry, pal. But lastly, to Foxy again, I'm extremely proud of you, mate. You've managed to be all the things I'm not. Sensible, reliable, and level-headed. Yep. All right, let's not carry away. There's only a few more. Jokes aside, mate, I cherish you as family, but I think you know that already. The Aldridge family are extremely lucky to have you. And also, yesterday there was a moment, not everyone might not have noticed, but at the drinks, a boat pulled into the marina in front of everyone. And the boat was so appropriately named as Tommy. And whether you believe in things like that or not, yeah, it's a sign, and that shows that he's with you, and it can't be a coincidence. So, yeah, lots of love, guys, and a toast to Mr. Reliable and the beautiful Nat Fox, guys, please. Thank you.
As the brother of Morgan, who seemingly missed out on the DNA streak that led to amazing athleticism, a lovely tanned complexion, I was blessed with a complexion that would make ghosts pretty envious, and I can talk for England. So I'll try and keep it as short as I can. It's fair to say I've looked up to Morgan for most of my life, until the last 10 years, where 6'3.5" is all you need to put yourself firmly in the lead as the tallest member of our family. And in all serious, guys, male pattern baldness is a real problem. And from up here, the signs are there, so I'll try and get a bit serious. It was roughly 900 years ago that Morgan and Natalie became bus friends. A tale as old as time, but natural. Bus friends led to boyfriend and girlfriends, and then suddenly, to my surprise, a very shy, blonde girl was sat next to me at our family dinner table. She didn't have too much want or need for conversation, a bit like Morgan, so it was a bit of a hand-in-hand on that. But she had a massive love for beige kids' meals and refused to eat my mum's lovely cooking. It's safe to say that this has come a long way, and unfortunately it's the only thing that's grown other than Natalie's. Well, I was going to say your height has grown, but you've sort of stayed the same steady height since you were that age. In the early days, Natalie was a source of slight contention in the Fox family household, as Mum had to let her precious boy fly the nest in a grey Fiat Punto 10 minutes down the road to Burnham so he could go and eat at the Jolly Fisher in Burnham with Nat on Friday nights. But wounds heal, and as time goes on, the family had actually gained a new member. Mum now has someone to talk to Strictly about. Dad has another set of deaf ears to tell Welsh jokes to. And me personally, I've finally got a sister that I can gossip to about my failing love life. Which, like Nat's height again, hasn't really changed for 13 years. The next milestone for the guys was moving in together, and after some years inhabiting both the parents' house, they went to Kent and got a dog. Suddenly one dog became two, and two dogs were followed by this lovely boy opposite me, Riley. I'd like to say a quick cheers to Riley for being the star of the show. And as someone who now obviously gets to travel the world and feels very lucky to, and has travelled around maybe a few too many relationships as well, I see now what Natalie and Morgan have and what they're in love with. It's not as simple as being in love with another human being. Sometimes it's what that human represents. Home, patience, and a safe space to cry when West Ham ruin another streak of form by losing to Brighton, probably. Their relationship transcends the simple want to be wanted by another person. And in truth, it energizes both of them, and I think everyone can see that. It encourages both of you to be like the best versions of yourself, and that's really inspiring for me to see. Even when Natalie can get hangry and Morgan can get woken up from a daily afternoon nap. It's this kind of love that they have for each other that little Riley has the rest of his life to watch and learn from. In honour of this amazing day and this ever-blooming marriage, I'd like to raise a glass to my two biggest inspirations, who have taught me that love isn't just in movies. Sometimes you can find it on the 504 bus to Southend. So cheers to Morgan and Natalie. Love you all. Thank you very much for coming down.
Good evening. Well, we finally got here. After one postponement, 3 years of engagement, 17 years of being a couple. And I know I am indecisive, but even I'll admit I pushed my luck with that one. But we're here. Firstly, a huge thank you to every single one of you for being with us. Ibiza's a special place to us, and now even more so, as we've been able to share this time with all of you. Bridesmaids, thank you girls, first and foremost, for your friendship with Natalie. Gemma, the best neighbour that we never knew we needed. Your support, especially through Natalie's pregnancy, was incredible. Meg, you're always there for Nat. This is proven in your constant advice with our nightmare dogs, and especially your support with Jerry through his surgeries. Alice, from school discos to your wild house parties, I can see why you and Nat are best friends, because you're just as bad as each other. 20 years of friendship shows just how much you mean to the both of us. The effort and planning that you put into both the hen-dos was hugely appreciated, and girls, it looked like you all had an amazing time. Best men. Boys, I am extremely lucky to have you here with me today. For no other reason apart from you are both completely useless. Your input to my stag was non-existent, but at the same time, I couldn't be prouder of the both of you. Joey, to be able to take Riley to Wembley to see you is a memory I will always cherish. From some of the best days that we had at Sparrows Lane to the incredible holidays, trips that we've been on to becoming dads 3 weeks apart. And I just can't wait to keep watching the boys grow up together. Love you, mate. Ollie, where to start? I thought my life was a roller coaster, but yours is something else, mate. Growing up, carrying the goal over the road and kicking a ball around on the field, it feels like only yesterday. Everyone here and beyond has seen what you have achieved over the last 18 months, and rightly so. I don't think I've fully come to terms with it myself, but I know how much hard work and dedication you've put in over the many years prior. Your success is no surprise to me, and we are both super proud of you, and we love you loads. Oh, I'm not getting through. There are some important people that couldn't be with us today. At home, Natalie's grandparents, Beryl and Pat, and obviously Grandad Harry as well. We've already had such a special day. The books are around. Make sure you find them and have a look through them with them, and to celebrate our marriage back home. And yeah, it was just an amazing, extra special day. Probably more special than we would ever imagine. To spend that time with them was just incredible. So cheers to them back home. And then to those that aren't with us today, namely Harvey Witzer. Yep, oh no. Me and Ollie, having grown up with Lauren and Dan as a family, Harvey was the best friend to, not only my parents, but to all of us, and he's hugely missed. Nod, not only Joe's dad, but speak on behalf of all the boys at the end to say, he was one of us, he was one of our mates, and we miss him dearly. And to my nan. All the family down there, yeah. Natalie was lucky enough to experience a few of our family Christmases, which Nan obviously absolutely loved. John, just look the other way. Having everyone together was so important to her, and she would be so happy that we were all here today. She was such a special person to, the both of us and everyone. So, to Nan. Wendy and David, I would like to thank you for inviting me to Nat's 12th birthday, as we covered earlier. I'm not sure if at that moment in time you would have envisaged us getting married or having the best little boy, your grandson. I'm so glad it has played out like that, though. Thank you for everything you do to support the both of us, being amazing grandparents to Riley. I can see how much it means to the both of you, and it means a lot to both of us. So, to my mother and father-in-law. Mum and Dad, believe it or not, this really is the same Natalie that used to come around your house and not say a word. I'm glad that was covered earlier. Well, now none of us can get a word in. The love and the support you have shown me and Natalie, we are so grateful for. Travelling all around the country to visit us, you can blame Phil for that one. But it makes the time spent even more special. Although you can't put a price on the time shared, it has proved costly on your driving licence, hasn't it, Dad? 3 points on the way up to see us, and 3 points on the way home. From the same camera is a personal highlight. But watching you both with Riley is amazing, and I know how special he is to you. But for me, it's how special you are to him. And Mum and Dad, we love you loads. Well, Natalie, I guess this really was worth the wait. And of course, you look amazing. I know just how hard you've worked and the amount of planning and effort you have put into all of this, but truly it has paid off. I've had the best time so far, and we still have so much celebrating left to do. Who would have thought, well, apart from you, 17 years ago, sitting on the bus, we would be here today. Growing up together, living together, moving around the UK, and now raising Riley. I couldn't have picked anyone better to do all those things with. The support you have given me with my career is more than I could ever ask. Relocating and leaving your career behind was nothing I expected of you. But it was something that you wanted to do to support me. Some of the places we have lived and friends we have met along the way has made it truly worth it. Who knows where our journey will go next, but I do know packing up the house won't be an issue, as you're getting pretty good at it now. The past 2 years have flown by, so it's true, time does fly when you're having fun. Because that's exactly what parenthood has been for us. Every day Riley makes us smile, laugh, and okay, sometimes makes us cry. But he's growing up to be an amazing little boy, and he doesn't quite know how lucky he is to have you as his mum. Nat, you really do mean the world to me, and to Riley, and we love you so much. So please, everyone stand, charge your glass, and one last toast to my amazing wife. Cheers. Cheers.